Raise your hand if you are planning on going to a homeschooling conference sometime in the next calendar year. Raise your hand if you're planning on going to a homeschool convention or a conference, whether it's online or in person, sometime in the next calendar year. I've got two things for you that are going to help you survive the conference with your sanity and your wallet intact. Ready? My very first homeschooling convention was the year before I actually started teaching in a co-op setting where the parents were teachers inside of the school that my kids were going to be attending. We've done all the different types and styles of homeschool. So whatever works for you and your family in this season, embrace it. Do not eat guilt pie from anybody. So I found myself in this homeschooling convention. It was one of the times that I can remember actually leaving my children behind to go hang out with, got a hair in front of my face, to go hang out with some women that I respected that were teachers, parents, and homeschoolers. And I couldn't wait to know and to learn what I didn't know that I needed to learn. And I remember walking into the convention center and being overwhelmed. It was like magic. There were books, there was curriculum, there were homeschoolers, there were children, there were families. It was beautiful. And I began going through the agendas, cherry picking which workshops I was going to attend. And the plan was we would break, because there was a team of us, we would break and go do workshops, and then we would meet on the sales floor. And then we would convene over dinner or breakfast. The workshops were fantastic. I still remember my favorite workshop where I learned the art of playing what is now called impossible games. It's a fun game. So I learned how to play impossible games with my students and my children, teaching them the different levels of problem solving and teamwork. It was beautiful. But I found myself on the sales floor, and I want you to be prepared for this. There is something meeting you, whether it's at an online convention or an in-person convention, that you may not see coming. I'm the kind of girl that hates shopping. Oh, and when I say hate shopping, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I mean, like with a purple passion. I don't bring my wallet. I don't bring money. I'm not tempted by shoes and clothing and jewelry and all those things. But a homeschool convention with shiny, sparkly curriculum, all promising the dream homeschool life, that was really hard to resist. Now, I've only been to one physical homeschooling convention, but I can still, in my mind, see the stacks of tables loaded with read alouds, the stacks of tables loaded with math curriculum promising not just mastery, but fun. I can see the booths of people ready to pull me in to show me their all-inclusive curriculum sets that would do it all. Make the bed, fold the laundry, teach the kids to read, write, all the stuff. The pull to purchase all these shiny things was completely overwhelming, and I was not prepared for it. So here's where I'm at now. And I actually made it through and I didn't purchase anything because I am that person that truly hates shopping, but I was so tempted. And if I was a shopper, if I was someone who was constantly looking for the next shiny best thing, and I would have had to go get my wagon to bring all the stuff home. So as you're stepping into homeschool convention season, I know there's conventions online and I absolutely love them. I actually teach at some of them. They're amazing. In-person homeschooling conventions are a fantastic place to see that you are not alone as a homeschooler. There's actually quite a few of us out there. But I want you to know too, we'll call it three magic ingredients that will help you survive and thrive through the next homeschool convention season and all of those convention seasons that you will have in your homeschooling career. So, you ready? By the end of the video, you are going to be ready. You're going to be able to walk into the convention hall with confidence. I know this because this just happened to one of our clients. She wrote, and I'm paraphrasing, that she had walked into this homeschooling convention. It was her first convention, I think. And she was so excited. She knew her master homeschool goals. She knew what was working with her family. She was rock solid. Even walking through the convention, the sales hall, she wasn't tempted by anything until somebody handed her a piece of curriculum that promised to fill all of the gaps in a certain area in homeschooling that she was struggling to fill. And she wrestled with it. She couldn't afford the curriculum, and she wanted it. She knew it was exactly what she needed to learn all this material. And she went back to the hotel and she spent the night restless and in prayer, trying to figure out what is going on. And it turned out that while the curriculum looked like it would do everything that she was hoping it would do, it was a perfect fit for her, but it wasn't a good fit for her boys. She knew that this curriculum was not going to hit her boys where they needed to be hit. And it also didn't fit, her master homeschool goals, where she has those in place. She also has a why we homeschool. And that curriculum did not mesh with both her homeschool goals and her why. And she said, Becky, at that moment that I realized that, it was like the weight of the world fell off my shoulders. So here's what you need when you walk into anything. Your overflowing inbox, which is probably like mine, promising all the latest and greatest curriculum tips and tricks for the upcoming school year, or an online conference. There's a lot of them. A lot of them are great, or an in-person conference. So you ready? The very first thing that you need to understand before you approach anything that you could bring into your homeschooling environment is to have a clear vision of exactly which stage of homeschooling you and your children are in right now. So that's the free link somewhere around this video. There's a link to a free masterclass that will help you totally see which stage your children are in right now and how to approach each of those very different stages of learning. If you don't know that, you're going to fall victim to all the grade level this and the benchmark that, the stuff that doesn't matter in homeschooling. So number one, know which stage your children are in. Number two, part of what we teach inside of Homeschooling Olympians is to set your master homeschool goals in place. The answer to the question, by the time my kids graduate high school, what do I want them to know? When I was crying over curriculum, shortly after that convention, I had 4 stacks of different varied ages and stages of curriculum, and I wasn't just overwhelmed, I was a mess. I was crying, I couldn't do it, and my husband asked me, why are you so upset? And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't teach 4 different levels to 4 different kids and get all the things done. And I started to talk really, really fast, and he lovingly stopped me, poured me a cup of coffee, which actually calmed me down. It didn't speed me up. He's like, push all the curriculum aside. What do we want the kids to know by the time they graduate high school? And I can still remember the feeling of going, that's an excellent question. I don't know. He goes, let's start there. And we did. And we set in place master homeschool goals. It's one of the pillars that we teach Homeschooling Olympians. You have to know what you're aiming for. And it's never finish 7th grade curriculum. That's not a goal. Those are tasks. Those are to-do things. And they're not even necessary. Newsflash. So master homeschool goals are things like, by the time my kids graduate high school, I want them to love to read. I want them to be excellent communicators, both on paper and in front of people. And I want to make sure they have all of their basic math facts inside and out. Master homeschool goals. So imagine now walking into a homeschooling convention. You know exactly which stage your children are in, and you know what your master homeschool goals are. Now you're equipped. You will see most of everything around you as busy. It's just busy work. It's just white noise. It's unnecessary. So why do you go to a convention? Well, here's where the third one comes in. Homeschooling conventions, whether they're online or whether they're in person, it's like a treasure hunt. You're going there to find, hold up this many fingers. I'll wait. Just hold up this many fingers and go, I am looking for this many golden nuggets. You only need one. You need one golden nugget, one lesson, one word, one thought that will carry you through the next homeschooling year. It truly is all about that. So you are there at the convention to glean one piece of wisdom from somebody that's been there, done that, to find one resource that you know is a perfect fit for the stage that your kids are in and your master homeschool goals. Just one. Everything else is a cherry on top. If you happen to walk away with more than one thing, that's amazing. My goal is always, whenever I sit in a workshop, whenever I go to a conference, whenever I purchase coaching, I'm looking for one golden nugget. And then I become an expert in that golden nugget over the next period of time. And it has served us so well in the homeschooling journey. So there you have it. The 3 things that you need to not only enjoy a homeschooling convention, but to thrive in a homeschooling convention. You're going to walk away with a golden nugget from a workshop, from a conversation on the sales floor, because of something that you bring home in a bag, because of a connection that you have with the person that you drove to the convention and back. One nugget that's going to carry you through for the next year. You're going to walk in confidently, knowing what stage your kids are in, and you're going to be looking for resources and teachings and workshops and words of encouragement that fits you right there in the stage. And you're going to have the guide of your master homeschool goals. If you made it all the way to the end, make sure that you grab a seat in the free masterclass, the 3 stages of homeschooling. Let me know in the comments if you plan on attending a homeschool conference, whether it's online, whether it's in person, and most of all, what you got from this video that just helped give you a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of peace. Okay? Enjoy the Homeschool Convention Center season. Enjoy online workshop season. It's fun. This is when all of the sparklies come out and people try to sell you all their wares, but arm yourself with your stages, with your goals, and with your nugget finder.